The Justice Department announced a nearly $2 billion anti weaponization fund that could compensate those politically targeted by the Biden administration. The fund was created as part of a settlement resolving Trump's lawsuit against the Internal Revenue Service over a leak of his confidential tax records. Under the agreement, Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and the Trump Organization will receive no direct financial damages. Instead, the plaintiffs agreed to dismiss their lawsuit with prejudice in exchange for the DOJ establishing a formal claims process for those targeted by, quote, lawfare. Attorney General Todd Blanche says, quote, the machinery of government should never be weaponized against any American, and it is this department's intention to make right the wrongs that were previously done while ensuring this never happens again. The settlement announcement comes as many January 6 defendants have already sought restitution refunds or multi-million dollar payouts tied to their prosecutions after Trump pardoned roughly 1,500 people connected to the Capitol riot. DOJ officials said the fund will sunset on December 1st, 2028, and that any remaining money would revert to the federal government rather than to outside organizations.
All right. Hey, welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines. So that's great news for me, you guys. For those of you who are not familiar, I was targeted by Biden's the Department of Justice. I was labeled a terrorist. The Southern Poverty Law Center, there we go. Southern Poverty Law Center is an extension of the Democratic Party. They came after me 4 years ago on behalf of the Democrats. Right after this story came out, right after that, Mike, can you go back? Can you do that or no? Right after that story came out, that was 2 years after January 6th, a Chicago Antifa investigator for the Southern Poverty Law Center, Jeff Tischhauser from Chicago, wrote that story about me to try to silence me, to discredit me, to cancel me on behalf of Joe Biden's Department of Justice. I am one of those people you're going to see that's going to get some cash, hopefully. It's a long story. We'll talk about that later. But the topic of this show is cancel culture and what the Biden administration did to me, and especially, I am lucky I didn't go to jail. He did it to Tom Homan. This came out a year ago. Southern Poverty Law Center, Jeff Tischhauser, Chicago Antifa came after me, Tom Homan, General Michael Flynn, and said we hate innocent asylum seekers, which is a lie. They were used as a tool, as a weapon from the Democratic Party, the Biden administration, to attack us, to harass us, to silence us, to cancel us. So this show is talking about cancel culture, which is alive and well in the state of Illinois in a big, big way. So that's really the first part of our show. The second part, we're going to have our buddy Mike on. Mike is the guy that we had on the show last Thursday. I'm so
Michael
glad.
Castellero.
Yeah, Michael Castellero. He's not Italian, but I pretend he is. So Mike is on the show, and he has a hearing to be sentenced this week on the 20th, I believe it is, right?
Think so,
And
Friday.
it's been put off. So Mike is the guy that was targeted by the Biden administration. He was targeted, a political target, right? So this is really exciting. So we're gonna talk about cancel culture and locally, and I want to mention two of my friends, Tommy and Jenny McGuire from AM 560. So we had local Republicans who tried to cancel their show. There they are. They're at the cigar night tonight. There's my friends, Tommy and Jenny. Their show was back on last Saturday when we had a couple of fake Republicans that hijacked their site, their Facebook site, the Unsafe Space, Jenny's site, and they were pushing out. They were actually pushing out fake materials to try to get these two people in trouble, and they hijacked it because unfortunately Jenny thought she could trust one of these rhinos named named Maxi Pad Rice. He had access. He blocked her out of her own Facebook page and hijacked it. She's back on the air. Tommy's back on the air. The show's going to be better than ever. So I want to make sure on this weekend, you got to watch the Unsafe Space, AM 560, Salem Radio. They fought back against cancel culture from Republicans. They're not Republicans, and they're back on. So I was, let me say something, Mike, then you could jump in here.
Sure.
So I'm the Illinois president of Parents Involved in Education, and I got involved about my twins are freshmen in college, but 5 years ago, I guess, When
Yeah.
they started school, I got involved because of the COVID. Then I spoke up about the porn. I found out that this porn was in my kid's school. And I'm like, I thought it was a lie. I had my son Anthony take pictures from the library and show me that these blowjob pictures were in the school. So I started speaking out at the school board meetings. And what happens with the Democrats in the state of Illinois? They tried to cancel me. They tried to intimidate me. They tried to silence me. And then they went and got the Southern Poverty Law Center, Jeff Tischhauser from Chicago, and they they got him to send FOIAs to the school to come after me to write that first story that Mike showed you guys, right? To try to attack. Oh, what did that do? That fucking pissed me off, man. That pissed me off more than ever. Yeah, that's see that picture there with me doing the OK sign. I was at Mount Prospect with my police officer friend, and the Mount Prospect police officers had Blue Lives Matter on their shirts. The leftists, the communists, Antifa were protesting. They didn't want them to have it. They thought it was racist. I went up there with my police officer friend. Next to us was the Proud Boys. It's no surprise. I'm friends with the Proud Boys. Those guys are not racist, homophobes. So the head of the Proud Boys was standing next to me. We took a picture, and then he flashed the Proud Boys sign. And I'm like, you see me laughing in that photo Mike showed you. I was laughing. I'm 60 years old. I'm like, oh, and it's supposed to be racist. It's the OK sign. So what does the Southern Poverty Law Center do? On their cover story, they put that up. Proud Boy Associate flashes racist white supremacist sign. That's an example of cancel culture, right? On a big, massive scale in collaboration with Joe Biden's Department of Justice.
Yep.
After that story came out, 10 days later, I was labeled a domestic terrorist. My family was quad-est. They were harassed when we went out to Charlie Kirk's Amfest. My twins were VIP guests of Charlie at the airport. They took my I mean, that's a whole different story, right? So this is just an example, a snapshot of cancel culture. So when we take it to the local level, I started, President Parents Involved in Education. I had events with Moms for America, Moms for Liberty, Gays Against Groomers, who are gay, Log Cabin Republicans, gay. I was running events. What do the Illinois Democrats and Antifa, they work with Jeff Tischhauser, they would contact the venue and they would reach out to him. Mike, you could show some of these, and they would threaten the venue. They would threaten the owners. They would threaten the band. So here, this was in Epoch Times.
Mm-hmm.
This is talking about Antifa who threatened me. They threatened to drop pops. They said I would take a bullet to fight communism. This is why it's a sore spot for me. Mike knows I'm rambling here. This is one of my kids' school. Antifa threatens dad who opposes sexually explicit books in school. After I did that, that's when the SPLC story came out and wanted to hit me hard to silence me, to send a message to all the other parents and the Republicans in the state of Illinois. Keep your mouth shut or we're coming after you. All right, here, Awake Illinois, canceled at the Des Plaines Theater. This was my event. I asked Shannon to be part of it, so it says Awake. So there's my buddy Ron Onesti, nice guy. Ron's got a lot of venues throughout Chicago. He canceled because they threatened not just the Des Plaines Theater, but they threatened him, his family, his house. They also showed up at the Des Plaines council meetings, which is leftist liberal scumbags, and they attacked the mayor. And the mayor embraced them. He canceled me. He canceled me because they threatened him. He canceled Awake Illinois, Gays Against Groomers, all because of that. This is Bourbon Street. They canceled us twice. They did it once. They committed to doing this event. Mike, you were involved in this. We had to move it up north to Addison, matter of fact, which we're going to talk about later. And these scumbags from Bourbon Street, which is a big, big venue, canceled 7 hours before the venue. Or no, I'm sorry, that was the first event. This is the second one. We had time to find another location.
Yeah, like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. But same thing.
Yeah.
And they were contacting the children of people that work for the place, making threats against them. I mean, these people are monsters.
Yeah, they said they were going to come and get violent. I told the owners not to fret. I was going to have my Proud Boy buddies come up and we'll mess them up if they showed up. Antifa doesn't want nothing to do with the Proud Boys. They were scared and they canceled us. And so just keep in mind, all the venues I'm talking about tonight, I'm Italian, I'm a Republican, I'm a MAGA Republican. Every one of these venues are ran by Italians that are Republicans, right? Every one of them. Every one of them caved to the Democrats, which is embarrassing. Here's another one. That's Jamie Mitchell. She's the president of Gays Against Groomers. She was going to speak at the first event at Bourbon Street that I had. She's a gay Jewish woman. What did they say to Bourbon Street? You've got Nazis coming up here. Anti-gay, hate people. She's a gay Jewish woman, right? This is how they lie and they cancel us. They try to stymie our voices. They try to harass us. You know what? In the state of Illinois, my reputation is fighting against this stuff because the Republicans in the state of Illinois are pussies. The
Yep.
leadership in the state of Illinois are pussies. All of them are pussies. I was raised the southwest side of Chicago and Italian. My mom's side, the Italian side, is in the southwest side of Chicago. Union, Democrat, blue family, right? I was in unions. My father worked for the city. I learned how these fuckers, so I'm teaching them how to fight back. Unfortunately, there's not enough people that are helping me. My old ass, I'm 64 years old, 2 cancers. I'm fighting against these pricks. And because I fought so vocally for our kids against the venues, I became a target even at the SPLC, not just the SPLC, the federal government and the Biden administration. They sent the FBI to my house, all because I didn't want porn. I didn't want all this crazy stuff that's going on in our state, in our cities. And so we got to fight back. So that's why I take it personal about the next part of the show that we're going to talk about is that the DuPage County chairman, Kevin Coyne, hired out of Addison, Illinois, Shula's Joe's to host our 4th of July party ahead of time. He got a contract. He met with the venue. They planned it. They knew that it was a Republican event, right? Ironically, this is to celebrate what? The 250th anniversary of the United States of America? Supposedly, Joe, the owner of Shoeless Joe's, is an Italian Republican patriot that was in the Marines. Compliment your service. Thank you, Joe, the ex-Marine. So everything was all set. For some reason, the Democrats heard that Republicans were going to host a 4th of July event at Joe's for the DuPage County Republicans. They make some phone calls and they threaten Joe. They threaten the business. So what does Joe do? Instead of being a man, being a Marine, right? A Marine, being a small family business, being a Republican, what does he do? He
Wimps
fucking
out.
cancels us. He cancels us. He cancels his own commitment. He cancels his own contract. Right? Kevin should also sue his ass, right? Not only does he cancel it because of the Democrats, this pussy doesn't have the balls to pick up the phone himself to call the chairman of the DuPage County Republicans, who was giving him the privilege of us hosting our event at his place, right? To bring our business, to call himself personally and give his reasons as to why he canceled this event. So I'm hitting that guy hard because he, first of all, disrespected Kevin. He could have picked up the phone. He has some jamoke manager call him and say, well, yeah, they don't want it. Oh, they didn't know it was Republican. Bullshit, they knew it was Republican. Bullshit, they had a contract. They knew everything about it. Here's what Joe, the businessman, Joe the Dago businessman, did. He's like, okay, I'm in DuPage County. It's really blue. We lost DuPage County. I've got a trickle of Democrats who probably don't even go to your business, Joe the businessman, right? They probably don't go to your business. And they made phone calls into your business and complained that they don't want Republicans to walk into your business. And if they do, they're not going to give you their business, right, Joe the businessman? So Joe's like, as a businessman, he's like, wow, Democrats, Republicans. Well, Republicans are pussies. So I think I'm going to fuck the Republicans because they don't fight. Their reputation isn't to fight. These Democrats fight harder. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fuck the Republicans. I'm going to tear up the contract. I'm going to tell them to fuck off and go find another venue. That's exactly what he did.
Yep.
So I made an AI video and I posted it on Facebook. And I very clearly said this is for entertainment purposes. I don't even have to do that, right? First Amendment rights. I run a podcast. I don't have to do that, right? I was very careful. I did that to give that asshole Joe a little leeway, right? To know it wasn't really him. and I did a translation in AI of exactly what I just shared with you guys of Joe's rationale of why he decided to screw us. And ironically, we had like 400,000 views between that and X. I don't know if Joe knows that yet. All right. I'm going to be on WLS tomorrow morning, Joe, with Ramblin' Ray on WLS, talking specifically about you, Joe. So you picked the wrong pony to fuck, Joe. You thought that we're pussies. No, I'm in town. I'm helping these guys fight back, right? You can't. So I had some people on my post saying, "Oh, they're Republican. The Republicans are against cancel culture. How could you do this? Pull this down. That's not right. Oh, don't do this to Joe. Family business." Well, you know what, people? Joe is the one that did the cancel culture, not us. Joe got pushback from Democrats. Joe looked at the Democrats saying, cancel these guys or keep your contract, honor your commitment as a man, honor your contractual legal contract to host our event there. And you're supposed to be a Republican and you're a fucking Marine vet. What does Joe do? Fuck the Republicans. I'm going with the Democrats. All right. So any of you people want to complain and bitch about cancel culture and saying I shouldn't do this, the second SPLC story, I fought for my kids. I fought for us. I fought for your kids. I confront Antifa. After that second SPLC story came out of me and Tom Homan, they tagged my executives. I had a big fucking job. A big job. What happens after 23 years? I lost my job. So Joe, with your little business, I bet you anything, I made more money than your fucking Joe's Shoeless, whatever the fuck it is in Addison. I fought for our kids, our country. I lost my job of 23 years because I'm standing up for what's right, right? And we're being attacked. We're in a war. We're losing. And you're supposed to be a Republican, and you fucked us. You fucked our contract just because Democrats complained to you, all right? So, Mike, if you don't mind, you want to show the AI video, the spoof, kind of summarizing everything, and all, 98% of the people are on our side that saw it, and you got some fucking jamokes that are friends with him that are saying, ooh, 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 poor Joe. So here's the video.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I am the owner of Shoeless Joe's Ale House and Grilly. We are located at 123 West Lake Street in Addison, Illinois. Also own the Shoeless Joe's in Schiller Park, Illinois. I own both locations. I want all Republicans from DuPage County and throughout the state of Illinois to know you are not welcome in my establishments. Yes, I agreed to and committed to hosting a DuPage County Republican 4th of July event at my Shoeless Joe location in Addison. Unfortunately for the DuPage County Republicans, they didn't realize I have more respect for the business I receive from DuPage County Democrats. Therefore, once I started getting complaints from DuPage County Democrats for allowing Republicans to walk foot into my business, I mean, come on. I told the DuPage County Republicans to fuck off. Yes, I know I committed to the 4th of July event. I get it. People have to understand that DuPage County is deep blue. Therefore, is better for my business to keep the Democrats happy. If you're a DuPage County Republican, I suggest you don't go to either of my Shoeless Joe locations. I clearly don't value your business as much as the Democrats. I hope my cancellation of your event on the 4th sent a clear message. If you are a DuPage County Republican, I don't want your business. No! Do you get it, MAGA fucks? How do you like this? Kamala Harris for President 2028. How do you like this? Kamala Harris for President 2028. Kamala Harris 2028.
How'd you like that one there, Mike?
Well, it's nice, but it gets the point across. I mean, this is the issue: is we have all these spineless people who just cave to the left because they're literal terrorists. They harass businesses like this, and they cave. So, if you don't have a spine, you should be punished accordingly. So, yeah, if you're a Republican, don't go to these establishments anymore. Hit them the only place they understand, their pocketbook. And if you do other work with them, maybe you should shut that off too. If you're a supplier for theirs, is this really who you want to be doing business with? If you were going to host events there or other things, maybe it's time to reconsider how you operate. Up. We lost Terry there for a second. Hopefully that wasn't on my end because we've got a big storm going through here right now. Yeah, I mean, we see this far too often that these people are just spineless. They won't stand. All right, I think you're back.
Hey, Mike, you got me?
Yep.
All right. Thank God we prepared for that one.
But yeah, if you're one of these businesses that's spineless, that is just going to concede to terrorists, then yeah, we shouldn't support these establishments. I don't care if it's family owned and operated or anything else. A message has to be sent. So again, if you live in by either of these establishments, don't go there anymore.
Yeah. So, did the other Mike join yet or no?
No, he's not on yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So people, for those of you that, I understand if you're friends with Mike, you got to keep in mind, we can't let the Democrats in Illinois. The Democrats are powerful, right? How could you run a business and let the Democrats decide who your customers are? Come on. I mean, they're just going to, they're going to selectively pick and they're going to, so you have to stand up and say, no, I'm not going to let you tell me who my customers are. Right? Here's another important fact. So the mayor of Addison contacted Kevin Coyne, our chairman. Oh, this guy's getting hammered. We had I'm telling you, like 400,000 views altogether. Oh, the poor guy's getting hammered. Oh, and you know what Kevin did, and I talked to him about it. It's like, listen, if this guy wants to change his mind and do the right thing and honor the contract that he put in place with us, let's have the event there. Tell the mayor he's got to have security there through the police, and we'll go there and we'll drop everything. Matter of fact, we'll give him more promotion for his business to tell people to respect him for the courage to stand up against the Democrats, which I don't think is very much courage, right? Especially for someone that attests to being a patriot and a Marine, right? You're going to get phone calls from Democrats and cancel the DuPage County Republicans and not even call the chairman. So what did the guy say again, Mike? He said, fuck you. I mean, He didn't literally say fuck you. He didn't. We gave a chance for him. So we have other venues in Addison that reached out to. I don't know where we're going to have it, but we had other venues in Addison. I hope we go in Addison just to say fuck you to Shula's shows. But the most of the people, and again, I apologize for my Christian friends, but this is sensitive to me with what happened to me, what happened on my job, my freedom. They try to lock me up, and for having someone that claims to be a Republican patriot, ex-Marine, that caves to some phone calls from a Democrat with the contract that he has in place and leave us hanging is bullshit.
Well, people like this are the reason the state's falling apart right now, because there's nobody with the courage to stand up against these people. That they just cave, they just roll over.
Yeah. So, what else did I want to talk about? Well, we're killing time, so we're gonna have Mike on in a few minutes. I know he was out. Is he in New York? I think he's in New York.
I think he's back in New York. He said I think he was out to dinner with friends right now. But yeah, he's back up there because the sentencing was supposed to be Friday, I think.
Yeah, so for those of you who didn't see the show on Thursday, Mike is from Southern Florida, Hispanic guy, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I thought he was Italian. I would have never let him on the show. It's a joke. It's a joke, right? And he started a financial company. So for those of you that are familiar with IPOs, initial public offering, it's usually for bigwigs. You know somebody, you're part of the company, you're part of the equity firm, the investment firm, you're a banker, and you only get in on those big initial public offerings in the very beginning. So Mike, through something that changed in the law that Trump did, created a company that allowed access to get into these IPOs, which you never, ever, ever get in like a normal person like us, me and Mike.
Yeah.
Both Mikes. and so he was doing really well, right? And what happened is the Southern District of New York under the Biden administration, New York, what's in New York City, right? Right? Stock exchange, all the investors. And so those investors got pissed because chunks of those IPOs were being allocated to Mike and his company to go to people that are small investors. They have the opportunity to invest in something larger. So they came after him. They targeted him aggressively, right, to cancel him.
Yep.
Unfortunately, through the Biden administration that trailed into the Trump administration, canceled him. Not only canceled him, they're going to send him to prison. And the good news is he's supposed to be sentenced this week. He was on our show. He was on Ann Vandersteel. He was on what's the
He's
chick's,
making the rounds. I think he was on
yeah, he
Wayne
was,
Allen Root
yeah, he was on your
earlier.
show. Yeah. He was on. Yeah. So he's getting the message out there. And what happened is the judge that came after him was appointed by Barack Hussein Obama. The prosecutor who came after him was a Biden prosecutor. And after he was on our shows and Diamond and Silk and some other shows, the prosecutor sent a letter that was out there, and we talked about it on our last show. The prosecutor sent a letter to the judge saying, how dare this guy use his First Amendment rights? How dare this guy challenge me, the prosecutor, because he stood strong. This guy had courage. Mike, can you text him, tell him to join?
Yeah, I'm texting with
Yeah.
him right now. He's trying to
That's
join. He's
what I
having
thought.
issues.
So what does Mike do is this guy has the balls to fight back, right? He's on our show. He keeps speaking to other shows about the injustice that happened and why he was targeted. And he's getting sentenced this week. So the prosecutor sent a letter to the judge saying, teach this guy a lesson. He's on shows, First Amendment right? He's on shows like our shows talking about how he was railroaded. And what do they say? He says, give him more time. I'm summarizing things. Hey, Mike, he says, give him more time to punish him for having the courage to speak out as a man about feeling that he was mistreated. So the good news is that Mike kept fighting and he didn't give up, right? And
Yep.
so he's going to share us an update. He's supposed to be sentenced. So think about it. This guy's calling out the prosecutor and the judge, and he's got the balls to say kind of fuck you to the guys who are going to put him in jail. And he stood strong to the very last minute. And now Mike's going to, hey, Mike, welcome, buddy.
What's up?
How's it going? Hey, so I kind of summarized your story while we were waiting for you, right? So I left it at where the prosecutor wanted to teach you a lesson for your First Amendment rights, for speaking out, for you having the courage to stand to the end, to say you didn't do anything wrong. And so can you give us an update? Because you're supposed to be sentenced on Friday. What's going on?
Tomorrow? No, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Holy
Oh,
shit.
tomorrow? I thought it was Friday for some reason.
So I landed at 1:00 today in New York, right? And I've been fighting with my lawyers. There was a tape of one of my sales guys saying that, stating that he was the sales agent for the fund. Now, the nicest way to put it is there was a sales guy that worked for us for 3 days, literally 3 days, crackhead, drug addict. He cut a deal with the government, and he was basically creating these sales calls against us. And the sales agent was named Steve L. That's his name. I'm not going to say his last name. And out of nowhere, they said that Steve was the man on the calls. I said I spoke to Steve 4 times a day. That was not Steve. I've been fighting with my lawyers. I've been fighting with my partner's lawyers since October on this fact.
Yeah.
Last night, Steve, because they were indicted on their own situation as well, similar to mine. Last night, Steve says, that's not me. That's not my voice.
Wow. That's awesome.
So an order comes in to fight what Steve said, and the judge still doesn't give a fuck.
So
The
just
judge
to
doesn't
clarify,
care. The illegitimacy of Steve, of the guy that said he was Steve, is still not Steve, and the judge still wants to go forward with sentencing tomorrow.
Are you kidding me? I thought.
wow. So yeah,
No,
let's just clarify
I
for
wish
the
I was
audience.
kidding you.
Yeah, so Mike, we'll clarify for the audience. So the government's witness against Mike wasn't really First
A
of all, he worked
witness.
there
It
three.
was like it
Yeah,
was a
first
famous
of all,
lawyer.
he worked there 3 days. He worked there 3 days, and it wasn't the guy who said he was the guy that got our guy in trouble.
The best way to explain it is you killed somebody with a gun. You can't find the gun. You can't find the bullet casing, but you show up with a knife.
Yeah, yeah.
And say, oh yeah, this is close enough.
Yeah, this
That's
is a weapon, so we're gonna use this.
Yeah.
so. What time? What? So tell us what time is court tomorrow, and where do you think you stand?
10 a.m. Southern District of New York sentencing. Obviously, the media I'm doing is pissing the judge off, but at this point,
Yeah.
screw him, right? Why do I even have to? Why should he even be respected as a judge if he's allowing fake evidence?
Yeah, fuck him.
Right?
Fuck him.
How do you allow fake evidence? That's the part that burns me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, you got to file an appeal now. Any chance they'll let?
Oh, this is good. I mean, this is definitely an appeal. Just hopefully you don't get fucking sentenced. You got to go in right away, and you could be out while you're appealing.
Well, they allowed me to book my flight back to Florida, so that's a good thing.
That's at least a good sign.
great
Yeah,
thing.
that's a good sign.
Is that a win in the book? I guess
Congrats.
do we celebrate to that?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
do.
guess
That's
you gotta
every
celebrate
little
that.
bit, man. Fuck yeah.
Sometimes it's the small victories.
Yeah,
That's great. That's great news.
but how is he allowing? He doesn't care. The problem is he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's all about crushing the American dream. He's he's Barry Satoro's boy, and that's all he cares about. Sticking his guns against anybody else. And you
Yeah.
know what? I wanted to wear my MAGA hat, but everybody's telling me not to.
Yeah. So, Mike, our show before you, because I know you're busy and stuff. Our show today is on cancel culture, right? You're a form of cancel culture. The SPLC coming after me is cancel culture. Our Republican Party, we booked an event over here for the celebrate the 250th birthday of America, 4th of July. Some Democrats complain the fucking owner, who's another Italian quote Republican, had a contract. What does he do to us? He cancels us. This judge and the prosecutor came after you because they want to silence our side of because we don't agree or we don't do what they want or we in your case financially give people the opportunity to have a piece of the pie that they never have. I lost you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you perfect.
Okay, I got you now. There you go. Okay.
I'm still baffled. Like I landed today. The guy's willing to submit to a voice test because he was also indicted. He was another fund that was born after mine, same type of business. And the minute he wants to submit to his voice test to contest the facts, but facts aren't allowed in the Sun District of New York.
Right. Right.
Well, I
Right.
mean, too, like with the call, I would think you could verify like what phones it came from and all that. They should be able to rule out this guy anyway.
Oh,
So
we
just
already
no.
we had one number, New York area code 646.
Yeah.
This guy, when they called in for these fake things, it was an 855 number, which is a number that we've never, ever, 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 ever had. How do you
No.
still dismiss and allow the call to use some recording of this crackhead could have been had a conversation with his drug dealer or his cousin or his brother or whomever be part of something that is
Well,
beyond the legitimate. I mean, it's unreal. That's the part that burns me that I still have to go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
well, yeah. So the number on this call came back a toll free, an 855 number. Like this guy's calling from a calling card from the 1990s.
Yes. And my number is still 646-767-7404. I still remember the company number.
Yeah.
And that number is nowhere near. And it was also disputed at trial. And they're still using it as evidence.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
and another thing about Mike's attorney, right? Mike's got an attorney. that's representing them. And you got to understand, folks, and we talked about this on Thursday. I'm going to say it again for those of you who didn't see it. Is a lot of time when you hire an attorney, he's more concerned about keeping face with the judge, with the prosecutor, than his client. And then he'll try to a certain extent to fight aggressively as hard as he makes you think he can, but he doesn't want to piss off the judge. Am I not right, Mike?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you reach to the point where it becomes, oh, don't worry, this will all come up in the appeal, right? What does that become?
Bigger payday for him, that's
fight
for
that you
sure.
don't want to deal with,
Yeah.
but when the truth is proven over and over and over, and they still find an angle to twist it and turn it, because the government can lie a billion times over and they'll never be wrong.
Right. Right.
The minute they think I thought about lying, the minute they think I thought about lying once is when they come after me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually I got to be careful on what I say myself personally. Mike, Mike Lauber, you know what I'm going to talk about, but I had an
Yeah.
attorney who just totally fucking, I had a fake, I got to be careful what I say. I had some fucking scumbag file a fake order against me. My attorney sucked. He fucked up. I went pro se by myself in front of the judge who ruled against me when somebody else lied. And guess what? The judge, which is unusual, is giving me a chance to present a reconsideration. Is that pretty good? I mean, I had an attorney who's supposed to look out for my best interest. He did not.
They don't,
He did
because
not.
they gotta hang out with these people every week because the courthouse is a big clubhouse.
Yeah, they
And
got to
me,
be able to go to the martini bar with them for lunch.
and I'm just a dumb Southside Dago Chicago, and I
The second,
presented stuff.
the
And
second
and
district of New York has this private lawyers lounge members only room that they all
Of
go hang
course.
out, and the three of
they're
me and my two
friends.
partners get pushed to the side like we're two mosquitoes on
Yeah,
a summer night.
yeah, 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 yeah. People don't understand that if you're not in the judicial system in any capacity. It goes across divorce, criminal, civil. These guys are, a lot of them were
I didn't
prosecutors.
want to
They're
understand it
friends.
either. I didn't want to understand it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
unfortunately had a lot of experience across all those things. And you see, and when you try to hire an attorney, folks, there's a little word of wisdom. No matter where you're at, you try to find an attorney that first started out as a prosecutor. That relationship, yes, you need a good attorney that knows the law, but you know what? It's always, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. I'm telling you, it's the relationships that matter more so than anything.
Exactly. These guys all hang out at the same country club, and that's what they care more about than winning your case or justice or anything else.
I know attorneys on the Southwest side that would get fucking hookers for the judge back in the day. The judges.
Hey, so Terry, I'm gonna talk to Peter Ticton in like 2 minutes.
Oh, go ahead. Great. He's more
Guys,
important than us.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
I'm
love you
happy for
guys.
you.
I
I'm
love you guys,
happy.
how much you support me and how much you're behind me.
Yes, great, man. It's good. Go
I have
ahead.
to talk. I have to talk to
You got
Peter.
to talk to
Hey,
him.
yeah, that's
Great.
a much more important call, man. Well, good luck. We'll talk again soon. Thanks, Michael.
Congratulations, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Keep us
Yeah,
posted.
congratulations. Let's take Barry's friend down.
Yes.
That's right.
All
All right,
right.
Great,
man.
man.
Good luck.
Congrats.
And we'll talk to you soon, man.
See
ya.
ya. Bye-bye.
I
Oh,
love you
that's
guys.
good.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
you
much.
too, man. Good luck, man. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
No,
good. I mean-
man, it's good.
Well, yeah, it sounds like he's got good grounds for appeal in multiple angles now, too. And, his attorney might be a scumbag, but he'll want that next paycheck, so he'll take the case.
He'll get a different attorney on the appeal, Mike.
I hope so.
Okay, I promise you. And here's so this is all great. And to your point, I'll tell you guys right now, he will get an appeal. My only concern is this guy's going to ram him up his ass, right, and lock him up. Not tomorrow. Something's going on behind the scenes, but when he has that chance, this judge is going to send a message to us, to MAGA, right, on
Yep.
our side. And he's going to fucking hit him hard. He's going to lock him up, not even give him a chance for a financial crime to self-surrender. And then he'll probably be locked up I hope he doesn't get locked up. So don't get me wrong, right? I hope to
Yeah.
God he doesn't get locked up.
Well, we're trying to
I
be
hope I'm wrong.
realistic.
Yeah, and so they might, the judge won't let him out on appeal, but if he goes through that process, and if Peter Tickton, if for those of you who don't know Peter Tickton, he's friends with Trump. They were in military school together, or whatever the heck that was in high school, right?
Yep.
So Peter's out of Florida, and hopefully, if it goes down this path of appeal, which I bet you anything I'm right on that, is that if the judge tries to mess with him and keep him locked up during the appeal process, Peter will get him out so that he'll be out free with his family while the appeal process goes on. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Tickton's a real fighter. I mean, he's worked with Mike. He's worked with President Mike Lindell. He's worked with President Trump. This guy means business. So, and he hates the deep state as much as the rest of us, and has been angling to take the position. I know he wants the AG position. I wish Congress had the stones to put him in that role, because we would see a completely different DOJ, and I think he would actually clean out all the scum up there that are blocking prosecutions right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh man, I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy. I mean, it's like, the guy, this is looming over his head, his family, his young children, and
Yeah.
he's supposed to be sentenced tomorrow. And think about it. Any of you guys that are watching this, if you ever went to prison, you're wondering sentencing, unfortunately, it's like, you're like the night before, you don't fucking sleep, man. You're waiting to hear the hammer's going to come down on you, right? And what's unknown to Mike was the fact that the prosecutor told the judge to make an example of him. The prosecutor sent the letter. We talked about it. If you didn't see it last Thursday, go back and watch it, right? The
Yeah.
prosecutor's telling his judge buddy to hit him hard just because he spoke openly about the judge ruling against him. And honestly, there was no victims. It was just politically motivated. It's another example of cancel culture, which was the whole purpose of why we did this story today. So I guess with that said, Mike, let's what time is it here? I guess we could finish if you have any closing statements, and I could go eat dinner.
Yeah. Might as well take it off a little early. I got a typhoon outside here right now. But no, I'm glad to see this develop. I was really hoping he would get a delay in sentencing. That's what we had heard earlier today. But at least they appear to be listening. He is set up for a good appeal. Hopefully they don't stick him in the can, 2 weeks from now, that they let him stay out on appeal. I mean, that's the big concern. It sounds like he'll at least get to go home, see his family. So I guess that's a plus. He won't have to surrender after court. But still, I mean, he deserves justice, like Keone Rodriguez and numerous others that we've had on here that had government weaponized against them or been victims of cancel culture or everything else. But, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us to grow so we can bring more people the news the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear. We'll be back on Thursday with even more. Thanks again.